I'm so sorry I have to stand here today. My name is Rabbi Marko, and I serve Congregation Beth Israel, just up the road in North Maine. Now, there's a lot of things that I can imagine, but there's a lot of things that I just can't imagine. As a member of a minority, I don't have to imagine how it feels to be marginalized and hated for being who I am. But despite this, I choose to wear my Jewishness outwardly in the form of a kippah. But wait a second. There are many situations that I find myself in based on where I am, or a particular look, or just a vibe I'm getting, and all of a sudden, I feel uncomfortable and I feel unsafe. And in times like these, sometimes, I admit it, I take my kippah off and I stuff it in my pocket. And all of a sudden, not that I should ever have to do something like this or want to do something like this, but all of a sudden, I can pass. And I think about my black brothers and sisters. You can't take your blackness off, and you shouldn't have to, and you shouldn't want to. And I can't imagine what it feels like to live in your America. To be constantly, persistently, pervasively, and institutionally threatened every single day of your life. I can't imagine being afraid to go for a jog, or hold a cell phone, drive a car, or hang out in my damn apartment, or breathe. I can't imagine a George felt with a knee on the back of his neck and his face pressed to the hot pavement as he felt the breath leaving his body, knowing he was going to die. I can't imagine how somebody could somehow feel righteously justified to be judge, jury, and executioner of an unarmed human being. I can't imagine that. And I can't imagine what those cops standing around felt like, the ones who had sworn to serve and protect. I can't imagine them standing there watching and doing nothing. I can't imagine any of those things. But you know what I can imagine? I can imagine being in the crowd that gathered around. I can imagine that. Screaming for it to stop, powerless to prevent a murder committed in broad daylight before my very eyes. And I can imagine my granddaughter standing by my side. And I can imagine struggling with what I would say to her about the horror she just witnessed and the reality of the country in which we live. Now, how can I imagine these things? Because I don't have to imagine them. We've already seen them again and again and again. At the march in Washington in 1963, Holocaust survivor Rabbi Joachim Prince said, and I quote, "The most urgent, the most disgraceful, the most shameful, and the most tragic problem is silence." As a Jew, I know how a world of silent onlookers condemned my people to millennia of ghettoization and genocide. Rabbi Prince, on that day in Washington in 1963, urged America to not become a nation of onlookers. That's what we've become. That's what I've become. And the awful truth is, if we weren't there that day George Floyd was murdered, we were all in the crowd. We all seen it before, and it's painfully obvious that we've not done enough to end it because it's still happening. I'm sorry. Many are guilty, but all are responsible. I'm responsible for not doing more. May the guilty be brought to justice, and may the rest of us commit to justice.